Cosplay. A mashup of the words costume and play, it's more than just adults dressing up like it is Halloween every day. It is a subculture community that is as diverse as it is creative. The act of dressing up in homemade costumes for comic book conventions is nothing new. People have been doing this since the 1960s.
But no, like if you look back in the 60s and 70s when like Star Trek and all that stuff was still like the thing, there were people dressing up in costume for that, but it wasn't cosplay, they were just enthusiasts or whatever.
So at that point, cosplay wasn't a common thing. You know, you would have like, I would go to Heroes Con in Charlotte, North Carolina, and I think I saw one guy in Spider-Man pajamas once.
The community has grown massively thanks to the rise of the internet and fan conventions just like Richmond, Virginia's Comic-Con. Cosplayers near and far came to the Richmond International Raceway to take a day off from their normal lives and portray their favorite characters.
It's cool because I go to work every day and I'm just this dude in a call center, but then when I cosplay, I'm not just like dressed up, I'm that guy. I walk around like that guy, I talk like that guy, I act like him, his mannerisms and everything. So it's a cool way to step out of your normal everyday life to be somebody else.
I don't know, when you play dress up as a kid, I always enjoyed that. So it's more of like playing pretend or whatnot.
I do it because it's fun, because when I was his age, there were no Doctor Who conventions. I usually just go as like my favorite character of the year, and either something I look like normally, or something I can easily put together in the closet. But for me, it's just a matter of getting together with a group of people that are doing the same thing and having fun. But it's not a hobby. It's not something that I do all the time. It's just when it's possible, I do it.
I love seeing people who are comfortable in their skins when they throw a costume or a mask on. I think it speaks volumes about how empowering that character has become to them. How it represents so much more to them than just it's more than just something they read and find entertaining for 10 minutes. It's something that inspires them, and they celebrate it by throwing a costume on, and I know there's a real sense of fun about it,
The winner of the cosplay competition at the VA Comic-Con, Roxana Vasquez, gave her reasoning about being a part of the cosplay community.
And people expect you, when you come to these things, they expect you not to just dress as that character, but be that character. Pose like that character. Play like that character. And it's widely acceptable now. Even for an old lady like me.
The 501st Legion is the world's largest imperial costuming organization. They show off their Star Wars fandom by wearing movie-quality outfits and by giving back to their local communities.
Cosplay in and of itself is really fun. It's just a different experience, but with the 501st, they're charity-based. They're such a loving, welcoming group. Like, they don't even have to know who you are, and you're already family when they meet you, and that's just a really nice feeling. And they do wonderful things for the community, and that's really important to me.
The cosplay community has even found its way into Richmond. The cosplay club at Virginia Commonwealth University showed off the costumes they have been working on.
Favorite cosplay right now to wear is Farah from Overwatch, and Isabella from Dragon Age, and Stevani from Steven Universe. I identify with them a lot. They look like me, which is like one of the reasons I choose to cosplay the characters I do. And personality-wise, I think we're the same.
And I also kind of deliberately look for cosplayers who look like me, that being like people of color, because it's refreshing and reassuring to know that somebody who looks like you is doing so well and is so popular in an industry where there's like very overwhelming lack of people of color. Not much for us to choose from, to see them be like a brown Princess Peach, and say like, I could be a brown Princess Peach, and I did that.
I'm not one of those kinds of people who will cosplay someone who they don't like resonate with or don't know anything about, because I feel like that's a little disingenuous. And nothing against people who do that, because like if a design is cool, I could understand anyone wanting to cosplay it, but I want to feel like a personal connection with the character before I do it.
Another character I cosplayed, which was to make a statement, was Rosalina from Super Mario Galaxy. I love Rosalina's character and how she's portrayed in-game, but she's white. So I wanted to do something different with that one, in which I show my love for her, but also am true to myself. So I cosplayed her as like a black version without being too ethnic. So my hair was long, it was black instead of blonde, and that was it.
Jillian Ryan, who is a professional cosplayer and was one of the judges for the cosplay contest, dug into the passion of the community and the difficulty of judging all of the costumes.
So the costumes are always like really, really great. The hardest part is actually the judging, because you have way more entrants than you have prizes, and everybody's so passionate, and like you have some people that made stuff out of styrofoam, and then some people have like LED wiring, and they're all kind of very fluid, and like it's so difficult.
Jillian works with a nonprofit, Extra Life, where she is often called on to cosplay and also work with children from the local children's hospital.
Usually I'm the facilitator with Extra Life. I wasn't always the one dressing up all the time. So I would facilitate things, and we had this beautiful little kid. We had Sean Weber, who's Dynamite Weber cosplay, came as Spider-Man. And this kid he had hard times walking. He had hearing aids in both ears. I think his name's Dylan, he's so sweet. But he came in, and his mom came in because they wanted to meet Spider-Man, and he had a Spider-Man shirt on. And he's not super vocal or anything, but he saw Spider-Man and he just all giggles and screams, and like everyone in the room started like crying, because being a sick kid, it's not fun and games, sick kid is sick. But he gave high five to Spider-Man, and Sean's like crying under the mask, so it was really hard for him to he had to lift the mask up and wipe his face because he just couldn't see. But hugging the kids and high fives and doing the Spider-Man thing, and it was just really beautiful. That kid was so happy, and Sean was so happy, and now he does more charitable events, and it's just really cool.
Some people out there might just be thinking, this is just a bunch of adults dressing up for Halloween in June. Who cares? Well, for the thousands of cosplayers out there, it's more than that. It's about the community they have created and the passion for what they're doing.
What continuously draws me to it is that here, everyone is being themselves. And not you're really this character, but we spend so much time trying to be people that everyone wants us to be a best version of ourselves, that frequently we don't have the opportunity to just relax, to just be passionate about what we like and not about what we do for a living.
And it brings people together, because unless you're around that negativity or you let it in, it's just this positive, happy experience. And I've seen people get engaged, get married, meet their future husbands and wives, because you get to be a little bit more yourself. Because when we graduate school, there's no more art class, there's no more lunchroom hangouts, you're working all the time and there's no real freedom. But when you go to these cons, it's all weekend and you get to just be around good people. And I think it brings people together because you get to leave the negativity at the door and just enjoy each other for what you guys like.
And from this passion came an incredibly welcoming, helpful, and creative community.
Our purpose is different from our passion, and if that's the case, then it's tiring. You feel isolated. You feel like there are people out there that they're not like you. They don't get you. But here, look at it. Look in the background. It's amazing. Everyone here loves what they're doing. They love being here. It's a community. There's an understanding that we do what we love because we love it, and that there doesn't need to be any more reason than that.
You'll edit out all the embarrassing parts, I'm sure.
Is it good? Because he said clap, you said clap.
Yeah, okay, we're good.
I need action from action. Come on, you're not even trying right now.
You gotta be Kylo, man. Be the Kylo. Be the
Kylo, bro. Come on.
You watch The Flash and all he does is hang out at Star Labs. Don't you have a job? They totally forget it. And I'm so sick of this. Oh my God, everyone needs to have a computer hacker. And not just any hacker, like a brilliant hacker. And, you know, I've had people like, well, how will they move the plot along? I'm like, you know, before the internet, you could find things out by, like, I don't know, slapping a stoolie around or something.